These stories are only fiction, but all this is life. An old French grape farmer wakes up one morning to do the same thing he's done his whole adult life: farm grapes. The old man had turned 80 that past January, and something in the back of his mind told him it wouldn't be much longer. Still, he farmed grapes. These grapes would be turned into wine, slowly but surely, aged over decades, to be enjoyed by his great-great-grandchildren and their families long after he'd be gone. Why would I do such a thing, he asks himself. Why wait for these grapes to turn into wine for 22nd century bourgeois? The old man doesn't have an answer. Still, he farms grapes. It was his father's trade, and his father's, and his father's, and for all he knew, his father's fathers farmed grapes for Jesus and Buddha. It was a lonely job, one of precision, timing, patience, manual work, one of large, empty vineyards and slim margins, a dying craft, all for a wine he'll never taste. Strange, he wonders. Well, this is life. He goes back to farming grapes. A young woman wakes up and dreads that she did, because today, she remembers. Today is her mother's funeral. That woman had raised her, reared her, taught her, scolded her, loved her, laughed with her, braided her hair, clipped her toenails, held her hand. That woman made the best grilled cheeses. That woman made the worst hot cocoa. That woman was nothing special, but there was only one of her to be found in the whole world. And now she was dead. Cancer, that disease, the bane of all that lives, had taken her in the end. That woman would be but a story to her grandkids, who didn't exist yet. A myth. Someone just slightly far removed from what is real. That woman would live on, but barely. Only in thought. The young woman dresses in black and drives out to the place it's going to happen. A bug splatters on the windshield, and her wipers think it's a raindrop. Useless things, she thinks. A sunny day. She only needs wipers for her eyes. When she gets there, she's greeted by people who are just as sad as her. Cousins she'd played with at odd family parties, a brother who didn't quite understand it yet, a father who understood it too much, an uncle who'd lost a childhood friend and or bully, an aunt whom she didn't know that well, and plenty of others she didn't know quite at all. Each take turns reading kind words from a sheet of paper and trying to cheer each other up, and at the end of it all, a little yellow butterfly lands on her mother's portrait. Her favorite color. Isn't it pretty, she thinks. Suppose this is life. And again she reads her mother's name on a headstone. At 6 a.m, a young man wakes up in a small apartment in Shizuoka. Jumping up, barely even hitting the floorboards, he gets dressed, makes a rushed breakfast which he eats but doesn't have time to taste, and hops on the bullet train to Tokyo. Just 2 months ago, the man had graduated university, and now he had an interview with a company in a field which he appreciated but did not love, in a city that he tolerated but did not dream of. Perfect enough for him. It was all shaping up to be an alright life, he reasoned. One day he'd get married, but not now. One day he'd have fun, and go on vacations, and get back into playing the guitar. But not now. As he went to the lavatory to straighten his tie for the 5th time, he considered what lay ahead. 997. 9 to 9. 7 days a week. In a field he appreciated but did not love. In a city he tolerated but did not dream of. Marry later. Have fun later. Go on vacations later. Play the guitar later. Only when he'd have enough money. Yes, this is life, he assures himself. His tie is almost choking him. A woman wakes up next to the man she loves, down the hall from her loving children, in a large, comfortable home near the place she grew up. It was a long journey for her, growing up poor, but with a special talent that would send her skyward to the life she'd live. An instinctive artist, almost from the womb, she made her first pieces with crayons she'd found on the street. But a restless mind and the determination of 10 people had gotten her into art school, somehow, through all her family's hardships and struggles, and now her paintings sold for a respectable commission. Creatively brilliant, the critics agreed, but technically quite unremarkable. Indeed, she would live off these paintings, but that was all. She would live off of them. She shook her head. That was a dumb way to think. She reminded herself of her childhood dinners, pea soup and saltine crackers, and instructed herself to look around again at her agreeable suburban home with white walls and large windows, next to the man she loved, with kids whom she did much the same, in a rather nice neighborhood, making nice paintings for a rather nice price. Technically unremarkable, though, and once she was gone it was almost certain that she'd be disremembered and fade away, and even her masterpiece of masterpieces would be in the living room of some well-to-do family who didn't so much as give a half an eye to it. And none of them would remember the crayons scavenged from the ground, and none of them would remember the work she'd put herself through to get into art school. None of them would remember how she dug her parents out of poverty. None of them would remember the pea soup and crackers. Not any of it. But that's just life, she sighs, and falls back asleep, next to the man she loves, down the hall from her loving children, in a large, comfortable home near the place she grew up. These stories are only fiction, but all this is life.